Okay, Andrea wanted me to do a almost 2.5 year um, video on our chicken coop because we built it in April of 2023 and it's now September of 2025. And so I came out, did a video, kind of got really detailed with it. So I will post that video separately. So if you want more of a deep dive, that would be a good video for that. So Andrea's like, it's got to be shorter than that. So just seeing what Lady Pants was doing. I'm going to try to keep this one short. So I'm not going to get into the whys on this. I'll just say it how it is. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right. This coop was based off of Carolina Coop's design. Carolina Coops does kits. They're based out of North Carolina, and you can basically buy kits and you can have them delivered to your house in pallets. So it's a pre-designed coop thing, and so if you don't want to have to design your coop or anything, everything's all pre-cut. So you just have to put it together, or you pay them extra and then they can come out and put it together for you. It's not cheap, but it gets you a nice custom coop, and it won't be like a standard like Tractor Supply type coop. Would be like a nice custom type coop. So anyway, that's the basis of design. So with our coop, I would say overall, I'm extremely impressed with the coop. We live in Horry County, South Carolina. It's the same county as Myrtle Beach. And we live about 30 miles as the crow flies from the ocean. So we're not near the ocean, but we're not near the ocean, if that makes any sense. And so we've had wind gusts, I would say 55, 60, 65 miles an hour. On a few occasions. This thing is held up like a champ, and this has no foundation to it. So the foundation is actually the 4x4 that you see on the ground right there. It's just sitting on the ground, and so we don't have like concrete foundation or anything. So as far as the wind goes, this has been very well. And as you can see from the south side here, the roof has held up pretty good. The framing has held up good. The roof panels are your standard 12-foot panels. I didn't want to have to cut roof panels, so I made sure that the roof was going to be 12 feet long, so then it could accommodate the panels. And I wanted to have, I wanted to have an overhang more on the south side, which is the right side here. So then when it's at the heat of the summer, no direct sun was going into the run. And it's we're at the end of September now, so obviously the sun's a lot lower than what it was before. So sun's getting in there now, but it's also not July and like 100 degrees outside either. So that, I thought, worked out very well, having the larger overhang on the south side, which ended up being, it's about a 3-foot overhang. And because of the simplicity of the roof, and because I didn't want to have to cut metal, I did a shed roof here instead of a gable roof. The Carolina Coops, if you look at those are all gable roofs. But I didn't want to cut the metal, so shed roof it is. The other thing that I really liked about the coop is, if you look right here, this is actually open to the actual coop itself. Let me open this here. Okay, so inside the coop here, you see where I have the mesh up there. That's actually open, and the reason I wanted it open was to have ventilation. And so in the wintertime, when these windows are closed, you have to have ventilation in order to keep the humidity Oh, there's ML right there. To keep the humidity and to keep the waste byproducts down, because the chicken waste in here will accumulate over time and will get the chickens sick. So you provide ventilation to make sure that fresh air always comes in. And in the wintertime, you want that fresh air to be above the chickens, so then the chickens don't get drafts. So like right now it's like 90 degrees out, and so ML's like, I want all of the draft I can get, but in the wintertime when it's cold, it will seriously hurt the chickens. Hold on. Had to close that because ML will get out. She's our ornery chicken. The litter method, Carolina coops, what they do with their coops and what we do is what they call the deep litter method with hemp. And so we allow for 1 foot of depth for the hemp bedding. And so what happens is we put a couple of bales in here, then we turn around, let it get nasty, kind of like it is right now, and then we just add more hemp to it. And then over the course of the year, it just fills up. And then in springtime, we empty it. We've emptied it twice out now, and it's been good both times. And luckily for us, with our rooster now, the rooster loves coming in here and rooting around a lot. So he helps keep this, stirred up a lot more than when it was just the sisters. And so that's good. So the coop itself I thought was good. One thing that we did is this is a plexiglass wall system that you just could get at like Home Depot or Lowe's. And so the reason we wanted that is that when this is closed in the summertime or in the wintertime, there was still light in the coop where it wasn't too dark. And so that was good. Oh, good. The rooster's going in there and I'm coming out here. Our ramp is a 2x12 ramp, and the pleats on the ramp, Andrea wanted them closer together, so they're 5 inches on center, which is closer than what they are normally. And we're glad that we did that, because here's the rooster coming down after he gets done crowing. Maybe he's coming down, but anyway, if he comes down, he'll demonstrate. The sisters can walk up and down. They can go up and down this ramp without, there we go. See, he's not slipping while going down the ramp. And the sisters do the same thing too. So that was good. The Dutch door that we have here is invaluable, because there's a lot of times where we'll just chuck treats or something in there, and we just open up the top and just throw it in there, let them have at it. And that's that. So that was really good. The hardware mesh that we got that off of Amazon. And this hardware mesh is incredibly expensive, but it's in order to properly protect them, it's kind of needed, unfortunately. Chicken wire doesn't really protect from anything. So a dog or a cat or some sort of animal could go through chicken wire very easily, because it's very thin wire, where the hardware mesh is a lot thicker. Some people will debate that, but that's just our opinion. Andre insisted on it, even though it was a significant part of the budget of the overall coop. See what else we got here. All right, see if I can do this in between crows. If you see these little slats right here, we have panels that we will actually be putting on in a few weeks once it starts getting cool enough. And the purpose for these panels is to protect the chickens in the wintertime. And so there's the panels right there. And so those are just corrugated panels. You just get them at Lowe's or Home Depot. And then we just cut them with the table saw. And they're just designed, since we don't get really too cold here, we just have them up high enough to keep the wind from blowing on them when it's cold. Obviously, if it was a colder climate, we'd have to do other things, but here, even in the wintertime, you know, it's still like in the 50s most of the time, so it's not really that bad. Then the other thing I wanted to show was the nesting box area, which is here, and we got an Eleanor egg, so let me grab that real quick. And I forget what these nest boxes were, but these are type of nest box that you can get, that they're plastic here. And then we have our nest box material and stuff. They're comfy for the chickens. Blondie, who's one of our chickens, will actually come in there and get all snuggy with another chicken that's already in a nest box. Have no idea why, but that's what she does. But Andrea wanted to have the nest boxes inside of the chicken coop, not outside, because most of the time, like if you look on the Carolina Coops chicken coops, those nest boxes are actually on the sides or on the rear, one of the two, I can't remember, but they actually stick out. And we actually have, let me go over to it. We actually bought a little chicken coop here for like injured or broody chickens. And you see how the nest box is sticking outside? And that's how the nest boxes normally are, but Andrea wanted it inside to make sure it was protected. And then I wanted a storage area here because we don't have a garage, and our storage building is the green building all the way over there. And every time I wanted to get food or something, I didn't want to have to walk 200 or 300 feet to go get food or something and come back. So we have our little storage area here. So you have the nest boxes, we have food, we have grit, we have soldier fly larvae, we have rakes, we have everything that we need pretty much right here. And so Andrea's First Saturday Lime, and so all that is really good. And so that was also really nice. Then the last thing I wanted to mention is, it took me a long time to figure it out, but we were having horrible water problems on both of these doors, both the storage door and the coop door, where it would rain really bad, and then we would have water on the inside, especially the storage area. And so the first thing I did was do these little 2x4 things, which I called an eyebrow, to try to protect the top. That didn't stop it. Then, I don't know if you can see it, but I put weather stripping down the sides here. That didn't stop it. Then we put basically like a door sweep type thing here. That didn't stop it. But what finally stopped it was this little piece of wood right here. is that I just put a little piece of wood on the back, and so now this will only go in so far and will not go in past that. Because what was happening, like if it was a high wind event, it was pushing that door in, and it was the door pushing in, and then the bottom of the door was getting pushed in, and then that's how the water was getting in. So even in the last monsoons that we had very little water actually going into the storage or the coop area. So that's about it. If we had to do this again, probably the only thing I would do differently is I would do this. All right, when I designed it, I was wanting it to be as low as possible, but I forgot that I'm a tall person. So I'm just standing here next to the edge of the roof here. And so if I was to build this thing again, I would probably have it at 6 to 8 inches higher than what it is now. So I don't have the fear of boinking my head whenever I walk on the bottom of this, or on the south side of this thing. So that would be about it. I would just make sure that this would be a little higher than what it is now, simply for the fact of, I would not hit my head. And so, but other than that, I would say this coop has been very good so far. Like I said, it's 2.5 years old. We've had very little problems with it to date. We did have to put an automatic door in because for some reason in the summertime, Andrea didn't want to get up at like 5 o'clock in the morning every morning to let the chickens out. So we have an automatic door, but other than that, I think it's been pretty good. The guys and the chickens have a good relationship. As long as the chickens are in there and the guys are out here, then the dogs will leave them alone. Obviously, if a chicken gets out, especially Lady Pants over there, they will, of course, they want to investigate the chicken, then the chicken freaks out and then we have to go get them. But other than that, I would say that this coop, if I had to build it again, I would probably get built very close to the way it is right now. And there's not a whole lot different that I would do with it. So, like I said, for some reason, Andre wanted me to do a 2.5 year coop video. So, I think she has some people that wanted to know how our coop was. So, that's our answer. We would coop again. Now, what we're not going to be doing is we're not building more coops. So Andre keeps trying me to build more coops, and that's just not going to happen. So I'll get in trouble with that, but I really don't care. So anyway, this is the short video. So instead of being almost an hour long, it's like less than 20 minutes. So I'll call that a success.